Yo, I am back. Let's do another video. Before I get into talking about some toys, something else retro came up. We all love the 80s. I mentioned Police Academy a few videos back, and people were like, yes! So, I'm sure if you loved Police Academy, you loved Night Court. Night Court just came back. There's 2 episodes out. I watched them on Peacock this morning, because I ain't at work today. I ain't even going to work all week, whatever. On vacation. But they weren't that good. But I still got hope it'll be better. Sitcoms, the first, it was basically like a pilot episode, even though it's like a sequel series. Sitcom first episodes, pilots, they usually suck anyway, so especially Night Court did. If you watch the first season of Night Court, it wasn't you wouldn't even know why people love that show, and it went on for like years and years and years. It's also sad to find out. I knew Harry was dead. I didn't know Christine was dead, Marky Post, and Mac was dead too. Although you kind of assumed because he was a little bit older back in the day. But I didn't. I thought he was alive. I've seen him pop up here and there in all sorts of movies and things. So we only got Dan, and Dan's not a pervert anymore. He's just kind of like a sad old man. So we're kind of missing one of the bits that made the show funny. The raunchy, perverted like humor and stuff throughout that. Hopefully they'll get into it. All the other side characters, it was like no chemistry. They probably because these people only been working together for about like a week or two anyway. So I'm hoping the show gets a lot better. Like when they brought back Roseanne, that show was clunky when it came out. Then they fired Roseanne, and then it's just the Connors. And now I don't watch it every week, but when it's on, I kind of like the show. Flipping past, the Connors is on. I got nothing to watch right now. The show is good because I like how they pick up like 20 years later, and like the daughters, their lives still suck. It's kind of like real life where you ain't seen somebody in years and years and years, and all their big plans, and they ain't done shit with their lives since. It makes me feel good. I ain't done shit either, but we're hoping like every sitcom, it sucks in the beginning and it's better later on. It's not like The Last of Us, which I saw like the first episode, and I was like, that was great. But that's kind of like a movie broken down to like, 8, 9, whatever, how many episodes that show's going to be. Sitcoms were different. Streaming shows, that's different. If they ain't good on the first episode, you can skip it. Sitcom, we hold out hope. We hope Dan gets back to being, but he's like Dan Larroquette's like 75. They need, other characters to bring it. That's all I want to say. I went on too long about that. Night Court. Do 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 do. No. All right, let's talk about some toys. We got a Kenner Justice League Batman, and another Kenner Justice League Batman. Repaints. And it's also basically a whole repaint line of Total Justice. I did a Total Justice figure a while ago, Green Lantern. And I don't think if I made that reference in the video, but I thought his body, the sculpting, like he looks like a Goonie from Popeyes. From Popeye, not the chicken place, but the cartoon. And I thought this was so ugly, it was awesome. I love bad 90s art, and this was just like ridiculously jacked. But in the line, they also had Batman, and it looked like this, and he came with little gadgets and stuff, and you plug onto him. But it was a different color, so this is a repaint. And this is another variation. They all came with stands. This is the Justice League version. And the Total Justice, they came with like all the little accessories, but these just came with the stands. So, but I picked this one up, and then a week later I picked this one up. This is the style I knew. the weird wings on the back like that. I didn't know about this one. My vintage shop I go to, he was only $10. I'm like, oh cool, he's complete. So I got him. He was in a baggie, so I couldn't inspect the figure, but it looked pretty good to me. And I realized, oh look, his cape falls off. Kind of a crappy cape. Doesn't really sit on him too good. But then when I took the cape off, I noticed these weird things. I was like, oh man, he's missing an accessory. I thought he was like complete. Or is he complete? I don't know, because I was at the same vintage shop a week later and I found this Batman. I knew like the original design had wings like this. But when I took him out of a little baggie, his wings fell off and I had to reattach him somehow. And it was not easy. Like, the inside of that, the little mechanism to make his little wings go up and down, they're kind of on the little slide rack thing. It was a real pain in the butt to get that back on there. And made me think, all right, yeah, they used the same body, they used a different cape, and they reused the cape from like 2 other Batman figures. Kenner used that cape a couple of times in Legends of Batman, I think. Show some pictures. Another picture. These little pegs on the inside, they are impossible. The little stuff on the inside that would have been there, impossible to get out, because I had to reattach that to the thing that was like jiggling around on the inside. Took me, God knows, probably like 45 minutes to put that back together, using pliers and all sorts of stuff. So whatever might have been in there is not in there. If you got this one, tell me if something's actually missing. The packages I saw, there's no other extra accessories except for his little cape that barely stays on there. And if there was something, they didn't dig it out. They just reused the same body, and Kenner didn't bother plugging up the back of them. I love cheap shortcuts like that. I find that fascinating with action figures and manufacturing. I'm not like one of them weirdos now who would be like complains like, that's how Kenner lost his fans, they disrespect the fans. No, I liked it when they were cheap and acted like toy companies. Being silly. Throwing out the same damn figure over and over again. Look at that. Let's get a close look at the sculpt on there. Did better than Green Lantern's. His proportions are way off. His weird legs. Batman's legs look sorta in proportion. They're a little bit too long, but it's not like glaringly weird and obvious. So I like that, and can't really get him into any poses or anything like that. Especially with these goofy wings on this one. See, they fall right off all the time. They just pop back on to that weird little sliding peg in his back. But try keeping that. I might just glue him together, and because this is basically just a shelf display. This isn't really an action figure you can really play with. It doesn't do anything. There's no Batmobile you can fit him into. Because look how he'd be sitting. This is one of the first attempts at collectibles. Instead of it actually being a toy, it was a collectible. And these things are dirt cheap. Get them in packages. They're all over eBay. $10, $15. Somebody's crazy. They might charge you $20, but not a bad pickup. Not a bad whatever. So we talked. I just wanted to show. I wanted to throw that out there. I wanted to throw that out to everybody. Is this the figure actually missing anything? I don't think so, because I don't see any way you could have taken that out. There's no, like, you'd have to crack the figure open in order to do that. So I asked anybody else, and there's nothing on the cape. There's no, like, you know, nothing that broke off or little pegs to make it seat better onto his back. I'll leave that out there to you people. Did I just make you aware of something you didn't know, or am I missing something I don't know? Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. I always write back. I read the comment sections. I get into cool conversation with everybody. They all share the information. Everything I miss, my Batman guys, they cover all the rest. They throw in all the information. I'm actually like dependent on you guys for everything I miss. Thank you. Goodbye.